Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lena. Well, okay, to keep it real, I really was going to do some watercolors, because I thought that, this sketch here would look so cool done with watercolors. But then at the last minute, I just changed my direction. I thought that I would use a little bit of everything. So in this painting session, I am using some Pitt pen skin tone set from Faber-Castell. I'm using some alcohol pro markers from Winsor& and Newton, and then I am using a little bit of gelato, and then I'm using watercolors, and then also some soft tip acrylic markers. So, and also sketched it up with colored pencils instead of graphite. Yeah, so it's very strange combination. And then I'm working not with a reference picture, so I'm just not really not really knowing what I'm doing, and I'm not used to laying skin tones with these Faber-Castell Pitt pens. I think it's kind of weird, and I kind of understand why I don't use them much. Um, I laid out very softly with this skin tone that you're seeing right now, and then I'm thinking like, oh, I'm such a chicken. I should really try and turn up the volume a little bit, because that's what this set apparently can do when I see other people use it. So I dare to go in with darker shading in a second. So, but yeah, doing stuff with alcohol markers here, I'm using the alcohol markers is a little bit, I'm not used to sit and play with markers. I keep forgetting that they don't blend like when you come from watercolor. You're just expecting that things can blend and mix together. But they're like, nope, don't want to play unless I make an effort of layering, and I have not really learned how to layer, so it is what it is. But it's fun. I think it's a super, super fun art supply. It's very like, how can you say, like you lay a line down and it stays down. It's very super permanent to work with. So you have to get over that a little bit of fear, because you can't really, or maybe if you're like super skilled, you can correct it. But the because I'm not so skilled, I'm not able to correct if I do something wrong with a sketch line or something. So I think that's also why, if I really needed to paint something that really mattered, something that I had to gift to someone, I would never pick alcohol markers as my medium. That would be like really pushing the boundaries. But talk about boundaries, I think it's important to sometimes just try something crazy. And I guess that's what I wanted, felt like doing here, using a lot of supplies that you normally won't see me grab for. So I thought that I would turn on the camera and share it with you guys. So we all can see, yeah, just playing on a piece of mixed media paper. I also wanted to see how those Pitt pens behave on mixed media paper, because I seem to remember that last time I used them, they peeled up the paper when you started to layer with them. So that's why I am having this built-in drying session on the skin tone and working on eyes and hair and other things, just letting the first layer dry up completely. Because I think what I'm doing wrong is that I'm carrying on something that was told to me, that when you work with alcohol markers, you have to work while the paper is moist with alcohol, wet, so that okay, I don't blend with markers. I just go on top of them. But you have to work with the wet paper when you work with markers. And when I grab the Faber-Castell Pitt Pen Skin Tone set, I feel that the paper is very quickly getting wet. So I feel that I need to work on the wet surface, and then it starts to peel up. And then there's also that flexible long nib on these Pitt pens. So I feel that I have to side load my color in, which is a little bit weird, you know. yeah, you're really side loading a lot. But maybe other people can use them differently. I am definitely a pen crusher, so I think I would destroy the nib if I tried to write with them or use them as a regular pencil, for instance. So that's why I'm side loading them. Okay, let me see when I go crazy with that skin tone. I think it's here. Can you see how I I take a darker color and it looks so scary? Uh, yeah, and I'm not able to really move it around. I've never tried to take a wet brush and try moving it around, but I try to move it around going tint down of the dark. I don't know how they do it. I see a lot of tutorials, especially on this skin tone set pen, and they just nails it, with the dark values, but I'm not sure that I wanna try experiment like that today. Another day. But yeah, this is basically just playtime. Here I'm using Molotov white acrylic on top of the alcohol marker. It just goes nicely on top and don't get discolorated. So that's definitely a plus when you're working with alcohol markers, is that if you need to go in with highlights and stuff, it doesn't pick up the underlaying colors and become dull like it does when I use the Pro Marker on something that's done with watercolor or new color too. And yeah, why not mix watercolor into this crazy mix? So I'm grabbing my Prima palette. You can't recognize it anymore because I took 4 palettes from the Prima sets and then just mixed them in this um, huge palette. So that's why it looks a little bit strange with the colors, a lot of brown and stuff. But it's because it's 4 sets from the Prima confections that I have gathered into one giant set. And I really like that they dries up so gritty and hard, um, because I'm keeping them out on my work desk like this. And that's also very untraditional. I usually don't do stuff like that, but I think these watercolors are so easy to dust off because they dry up so hard. So if a cat hair or something is landing on top of it, you can just brush it off. I wouldn't do that with my stickier engrams, for instance, or my senneliers, because they never really dry up with a super hard surface as these Prima confection pans does. But I think I have used them so much the past 2, 3 months after I've had them placed on my desk surface as a permanent thing, and I don't have them inside a tin palette with a mixing tray, so I got a loose porcelain dish that I can mix on if I feel that I want to mix on. But they are convenience pans, right? So for me, it's more like dip and go. It's not. I rarely mix with them for some reason. It's just fun to just grab and go and take them like this. So yeah, why am I even talking about that palette? Okay, I'm talking about it because it's an old art supply that I bought back in 2019, I think. Wasn't there like a hit back then? Yeah, and then I just lost lost them in the desk and then revisit them and have joy with them. But this is my finished painting for today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.